What and how much you put on your fork is critical, not just to your physical well-being, but also to your emotional well-being. You know, your brain, although it only weighs about 2% of your body weight, utilizes about 20% of all the calories you consume. So the ability to keep a constant flow of nutrients is essential to keep your brain functioning optimally, as well as keeping your mood high. Now listen, recent events have highlighted what has always been true, which is that your physical and mental health are your most valuable assets. And unfortunately, it has gotten increasingly confusing to know what is the best decision when it comes simply what to eat. So in today's video, I am going to review the top suggestions of what to eat, but also equally important, what to avoid to support your emotional and your physical well-being. Number one, start with breakfast or whatever is the first meal of your day by including adequate amounts of high quality protein, fat, as well as fiber. Think a protein smoothie, think a vegetable omelet would be fantastic. Number two, stay hydrated. Thinking about your energy level, nothing could be as significant other than food, of course, but staying hydrated. Even just a little bit of dehydration can lead to an increase of feeling of anxiety and stress. And the goal is to approximately get half of your body weight in ounces. So for someone who is 120 pounds, that would be about 60 ounces. I don't know how many cups that is, can't do the math, but you get the idea. Number three on the list, absolutely when it comes to your mood and your body, and of course your brain being part of your body, would be making sure that you get in adequate amounts of healthy fat. I cannot emphasize this enough, and I am speaking of the essential fatty acids, omega-3, and yes, there are some essential omega-6s that are also really important as precursors for hormones and just overall well-functioning. Those were just some basic suggestions of how to eat, but I would like to give you a few ideas of nutritional stars that can absolutely help with your mood. Now, number one on my list, and maybe yours too, is chocolate, chocolate, chocolate. Because yes, it does help improve your mood. It's actually even been shown that it could help lower the stress hormone cortisol. It contains all these essential antioxidants, flavonoids, which are all been known to help relax us. The combination of some healthy fats as well as magnesium, and let's face it, it just tastes delicious. Okay, next one is spinach or other dark leafy greens as well, as they contain adequate amounts of, again, magnesium, but also vitamin E, which is really important, manganese, which helps with some hormones as well, and zinc, which we cannot say enough about, as it is a precursor for testosterone, which we know makes us feel good, both men and women. Which does bring me to my next star, which has definitely been noted with tons of zinc, and that would be oysters. But for our vegetarian vegans out there, don't be left out, because we got some pumpkin seeds for you, which I happen to enjoy. And these are all really critical, again, as we definitely need zinc for hydrochloric acid to help digestion, but yes, for testosterone once again. Then next on the list, we have citrus fruits such as a kiwi, a black currant, or strawberries, which have adequate and high amounts of vitamin C, which can absolutely help decrease some stress and anxiety. And then another star fruit is watermelon, for it contains L-citrulline, an amino acid that can help dilate blood vessels and increase blood flow, which is good for everyone. Next, I want to talk about avocados. I always like to say how fantastic they are for their monounsaturated fats, but they're also healthy with vitamin E, potassium, B6, which all come together to help blood flow. Now, another big favorite in my household is garlic, because I love the taste, but it does help improve your blood flow again due to the compound in it called allicin. Next, no discussion on mood would be complete without discussing fermented foods such as sauerkraut, because this bacteria in our gut has the ability to communicate through the vagus nerve and communicate with our brain. It helps your immune system, weight management, and yes, your mood. Now I want to switch over to those foods that we know can ruin the mood. Number one on the list would be sugar. Now, ironically, of course, when you're in a bad mood, this could be something that you crave, but high levels of sugar turn off the gene that actually controls your sex hormones, and also these simple sugars, including glucose and fructose, metabolize in your liver and get stored as extra fat. And this excess fat synthesis, again, deactivates, believe it or not, your sex hormone binding globulin gene, which contributes to lower levels of testosterone and estrogen, which also contributes to a poor mood. And not to mention, you might feel a high immediately when you eat sugar, but then you feel an ultimate crash later on. Number two, stop drinking soda. Even diet, of course, it can lead to type 2 diabetes, metabolic syndrome, but the aspartame in some of sodas can negatively affect serotonin. That is ultimately bad for your mood. Now, the next one on the list was a bit of surprise to me growing up in the 1970s and 80s is cornflakes, which was invented purposely by someone named Dr. Kellogg to lower people's drive. Can you imagine this? Now, the next category would be a category of foods, which would be low-fat foods, because we actually need fat to produce all of these beneficial hormones in our body. So without them, by eating low-fat foods, it's also going to lower these hormones such as testosterone and estrogen, ultimately leading to a poor mood and also an unstable blood sugar, as we don't have the fat in there to help stabilize. Another favorite, I believe, when we are feeling down in the mood, at least for me, would be potato chips. Now, unfortunately, the combination of the carbohydrates with the dangerous omega-6 oils that are typically in potato chips at the high temperatures, first of all, they can form something called age or advanced glycation products, which can wreak havoc on every cell in our body. But ultimately, this leads to an increase of inflammation, which is ultimately bad for our mood. The next one, coffee. Now, coffee is fantastic and almost considered a health food at this point, but overdoing it can increase the stress hormones such as cortisol and also lead to some hormonal imbalances. So it's really about the balance when it comes to coffee. Now, finally, low-grade meats, processed meats that are full of chemicals, can really lead to high rates of inflammation and make your hormones go awry. Now listen, although we might not have discovered that, the magical elixir of good mood, but listen, if focusing on getting in the foods that you need for your body to function properly will really help give you an edge to help you smile maybe a little bit more. Thank you. Now listen, if you have enjoyed this video at all, please comment below, like, share, and subscribe so you can be notified of the next video. And also, if you are interested in discussing your personal situation, please, there is a link below. You can sign up for a no-cost consultation. So I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.